It's been quite a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm really sorry. I won't even lie, I was lazy as shit. I had multiple drafts of the 04 review ready for a while, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I scrapped them and then I kinda forgot. So now this is finally the 04 review that you've all been waiting for. I'm very sorry if it's not up to snuff with what you were thinking, but after this review I have a shit ton of reviews already coming from different games and stuff like that. But right now we are only talking about 04, and well, let's just get started. You've been waiting long enough. Let's get started with the story. With Omega being killed in 03, nothing really changed. Dr. Vale, thank you to Reddit for telling me how to pronounce his name by the way, is still the leader of Neo Arcadia, suppressing both Reploids and humans. The game starts off with Zero protecting a human caravan that's being chased by Vale's forces. After all that, Zero and CL reach Area Zero, a human settlement, to hide from Vale. After going through Area Zero and defeating a huge ass robot, Zero meets the it's Nordic, 8 warriors, and their big boy Kraft. Here we find out that Whale and Kraft have been planning to launch Operation Ragnarok for a while, which basically means they want to destroy every inhabitable area of the planet, making sure nobody can run from Neo Arcadia anymore. Now the usual Mega Man formula starts. You have 8 bosses to beat in any order you want to beat them in, and after 4 of them the story continues. With 4 of the Reploids beaten, Area Zero is under attack. But who's attacking it? Of course, it's our boy Kraft. He kidnaps one of the human resistance leaders called Niche, what the fuck are these names? Which causes Zero to get her out of the prison that Kraft put her in. Once all 8 Reploids are defeated, however, it is revealed that they were just there to be a diversion while Vale finished Ragnarok. Right before launching the weapon into Area Zero, Kraft betrays Whale, planning to shoot the giant laser into Neo Arcadia instead. Zero defeats Kraft but does not manage to stop the laser, destroying the entirety of Neo Arcadia and killing Whale. Wink wink. However, nothing is safe, since for some reason Ragnarok is still intact and is now on its way to crash into Area Zero. With the help of Niche, Zero gets access to Ragnarok once more to end everything once and for all. In the core of Ragnarok, Zero finds Vale alive and happy that everything worked out according to plan. He mocks Zero fusing with the Ragnarok core and telling him that he cannot be stopped anymore. However, in the end, Zero manages to kill Vale, sacrificing himself in the process and saving everyone in Area Zero. The game ends with Zero's destroyed helmet in the middle of the desert, heavily implying that he did indeed die, thus ending the Zero series. I gotta be frank here and say that when I played 03, I said that game had a great ending, and I would have been perfectly happy if it ended there. But I still think that this story was really good and an amazing end for the series. Themes explored in this were also really interesting, with humans not trusting Zero because he's a Reploid. It makes sense after all the destruction Vale has caused, but how does the rest of the game hold up to the great story? All in all, pretty well, I'd say. Remember the recall rod and shield boomerang? Nice, but they're not in here. They've been omitted for the new star of the game, the Z-Knuckle.
Oh no.
If you attack an enemy with the Z-Knuckle, you can steal their weapon and use it for yourself. You can steal the shields of the flamethrower enemies, you can steal cannons from the foot soldiers, you get the gist. It's really versatile and fun to use. I love ripping out the weapon of one enemy and just throwing it into the next enemy. It's quick, easy, and really satisfying to use. A great addition to the game. Worth losing the boomerang and recall rod though? Debatable. A lot of people love those 2 weapons, and I understand everyone who is mad because of the exclusion. Elemental chips have also been taken out, which might be a bummer to some, but I love what they did with the elemental attacks in the game. See, this game introduces a new feature to the series, a weather system. On the stage select screen you have the option to switch between 2 different weather options for each stage. Those are basically stage specific difficulty settings. Wanna do this stage when it's sunny? Nice! Instant kill spike galore. Wanna do it when it's snowy? The spikes are now covered in snow and will not hurt you. You get the gist of it, right? The best thing about this is that you will only get rewarded if you do the stage with hard weather. EX skills are now locked behind the hard weather setting. If you beat a boss on hard weather, you will always get the EX skill, while that same skill is impossible to get on easy weather. This is a great way to reward players for choosing a harder difficulty. What's also great is that every single skill has its use, because they are all unique and they now have elemental effects themselves. What else was changed? Oh yeah, the elf system. You now have a permanent cyber elf with you, which flies around you like a mosquito just waiting to suck your blood. You level it up with E-crystals and choose what aspects of it to level up. Do you want it to give you more max HP? Do you want it to shoot fire? Do you want to deal more damage with your saber? All possible with this new elf. This is a very nice change that adds more depth to the gameplay and changes how you want to go about things. The coolest thing about this is that you can change the distributed levels of the elf at any time, in any stage. It's really damn cool. However, there was one more new thing to this game, and that's the armor crafting. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I hate this system. Enemies now drop items you can use to craft different armor parts. However, I have no fucking idea how to get recipes in game, and blindly putting together like crafting parts will just give you junk armor parts that doubles your damage, which is cool, but also halves your health, which is not that cool. Looking up recipes on the internet and going back into old stages to farm for items, it's not my definition of fun, especially not in a game that is made to be played quickly. Implementing farming just goes against the design philosophy of the game, so I never even bother with it. Sorry guys, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this. Apart from these changes, the game controls just as well as all the others before it. I have to say it one last time, the Zero games control amazingly well and just feel so rewarding and smooth to play, it's crazy. They have some of the best 2D action platformer gameplay out there. Oh, it's so good! With all that positive stuff about the game, how is it not better than Zero 3, you may ask? Easy. The stages and bosses are just not as good to me. There are a lot of great stages with fun gimmicks in them, but there's also a lot of stages that are either boring, repetitive, or flat out unfair. This chicken bastard stage is the most boring yet unforgiving stage in the entire game. There's nothing fun about this. The entire stage is filled with death spikes and moving blocks that crush you. Nothing interesting design wise at all. And when you reach the end of the stage, the boss is lame and just a pushover as well. Tech Kraken stage is a timed maze that kills you if you don't manage to find the door in time, and the latter half is just a staircase. Boring stage, the environment doesn't look all that great either. Tech Kraken sadly is super easy as well. Soul Titanian stage has a nice gimmick and concept, with you having to avoid the heat by hiding in the shadows, but by the end the card enemies get so obnoxious with their placement that you almost feel like you have to take damage. The boss itself is fine though. I like that you can't stay at one point the entire time or else you take environmental damage. The rest of the stages are all a lot of fun, especially Nobleman Drago and Heat Genblem. I enjoy the laser gimmick in Heat Genblem a lot, and the platforming on Nobleman Drago stage is really satisfying. The prison is a super fun stage with you sneaking in to get niche out and then run as fast as you can to get out again. That stage is almost perfect to me, and the boss is really fun as well. I just did a really bad job in my playthrough, sorry for you having to watch that stuff. The highlight of the game are the two craft fights to me. They're super fast paced, they keep you on your toes the entire time, and are just a fucking blast to play. I wish I could say the same about the final bosses. Listen, both Veil fights are not bad, in fact they're really good, but they just don't compare to craft fights in my opinion. Whale Phase 1 is too easy, and the stone and purple bubble attacks are way too similar to me. While Phase 2 looks amazing, the music is amazing, and has a great sense of finality to it, but the fight itself is just boring, especially if you compare it to Omega and Zero 3. With that said, I cannot decide on the better soundtrack between Zero 3 and 4. This soundtrack has so many bangers in it, it's insane. Here's some of my favorite tracks. all in all, this game is great. There's no single game in this series that isn't. I'm really happy I played these games again for the reviews. All of these games are an amazing time. Now with the Zero ZX collection, do yourself a favor and get them. For 30 bucks, these 4 games and the 2 ZX games, there's no reason to even think about it. Amazing collection of games. I know this review was like shorter than the other ones, I'm really sorry about that, but there's not really much I could talk about in this one because all of the stuff has been said in previous reviews. I'm really sorry. There's more reviews coming. I promise. I have them all finished already. I just have to upload them. I promise you, they'll come. They'll come, and the Mega Man ZX review is gonna come soon. If you're wondering what my ranking of the series is, I'll go from worst to best. It doesn't mean any of the games are bad though, so keep that in mind. The worst game in the series is 01. I like the mission system in it a lot, but like it doesn't hold up to the others, to be honest. The third place is 02. Great game, great everything, but not as memorable to me for some reason. Number 2 is 04. And number 1 is of course 03. It's one of the best fucking platformers, like handheld especially, that I've ever played. The gameplay is just so good. Everything about it is perfect. I have nothing to complain about. Well, we finally did it. This channel will not stay dead. I will swear on this with my life. I don't know if I will continue with ZX right away or will I cover another game first. We'll see. But I have the next review ready already, so it won't take another 2 years, I promise you that. And yeah, I know you're gonna enjoy the next reviews. They're more in-depth than this one. This one is more off the cuff. If you want to see more of me, I'm streaming on Twitch like 4 days a week. I'll make some like announcements videos in the future about that. And I thank you so much for waiting. Honestly, I love all of you guys. It melts my heart when I see that everybody's asking for the 04 review that you've been waiting for 2 years, almost 3 years for this review. It makes me so happy, honestly, that you're still waiting for me. I'm really sorry. It won't happen again. Next review is coming up pretty soon. I love you guys. Stay strong and I'll see you in the next video.